Have you ever seen someone do a handstand and just thought that is the most elegant, beautiful thing I've ever seen and just wanted to do one so badly? That was me. I saw Anna do a handstand and I just fell in love with these handstand shapes, and I taught myself how to do them over 1 to 2 years. In this video, I'm going to be going back in time and giving 3 tips that would have really helped my younger self get to her very first handstand that she could kick up into and actually hold for the first time ever. So let's get into tip number 1. And tip number 1 is going to be a little bit more relevant if you're a complete beginner. Tip number 1 is, once you overcome the fear of falling, training for the handstand and getting your first handstand will be 1,000 times easier. Most people don't even start training for the handstand, not because they don't want to try it or not because they don't have the strength, but it's because it's kind of scary to go upside down onto your hands if you aren't familiar with doing that. Like, how many of us just invert naturally on a daily basis? And once you're not afraid to fall, it's a lot easier to actually practice and train for the handstand. I personally come from a strength training background, so when I started training to get my handstand, I had some degree of upper body strength. I wasn't starting from complete zero. Like, I could do some pretty sloppy cartwheels, but I have no gymnastics background. So what really helped me in the beginning before I actually started properly handstand training is getting used to being upside down. And the way I did this was 2 main things. One is I would kind of do like cartwheel up and then practice falling down. In the motion of the cartwheel, one of your hands leaves the ground before the other one. And falling out of the handstand is really similar. When you start to fall out of the handstand, you pretty much lift one hand off the floor and you twist out on that side and catch yourself. So practicing the cartwheel really helped me get used to actually falling out of the handstand. And the other thing that really helped me was walking up the wall and then jumping back down. So this is kind of like the exercise you use to train handstands called wall walks. But I did it to a much smaller degree. I would only walk a little bit up the wall and then I'd hop on down. And over time I started walking a bit higher up the wall, my feet going higher above my head, and then I would hop on down. And over time I got much more comfortable being upside down, trusting my shoulders, trusting my body to hold myself up, and then learning how to fall out naturally. And part of learning how to fall out of the handstand starts to become very instinctual when you start to fall and you're upside down. Your body kind of figures it out. They're like, oh shit, we gotta do this. Now, if you're starting without any inverting experience at all, a few drills that could help you develop that trust of falling out of the handstand include kicking up drills. So for example, kicking up off the floor with one foot, hands on the floor, and then just coming on down. Your feet don't have to go all the way up into the handstand position, just kicking up a little bit and then coming down, practicing that. You can also try kick up switches. So when you kick up off the floor, just like the last drill, you just switch your feet and land with the opposite foot first on the floor. You can also do other drills where your hands stay on the floor and your feet leave the floor. And even though your feet maybe aren't in the handstand line, you're getting used to keeping your hands on the floor and your legs moving into the air and then coming down. So this could be cartwheels, this could be those kicking drills, it could be any of those types of drills. It's going to be building up that trust and getting more comfortable falling. This also might look like doing cartwheel out drills if you are comfortable doing a cartwheel or even a partial cartwheel, so kicking up partially and then just falling down. Or if you're not completely comfortable going up the wall and then hopping down, you can start baby. Put your feet on a box and practice hopping down from the box. Slowly make that box higher, elevate your feet higher over time, and practice that fall out. So once you're really comfortable with falling, learning the handstand is gonna be so much easier, I promise you. All right, tip number 2 for getting your first handstand is gonna be that holding a handstand is a full body exercise. What I used to do, I could kick up, but I couldn't actually hold it. And eventually I could hold it for like a half a second or like maybe almost a second, and then I would immediately fall back down. I could never hold it, but I could get my feet pretty high. So what I had to learn here is that holding the handstand isn't just having shoulder strength. It's not just getting my feet off the floor and just hoping that I kind of balance up there. It's learning to fully engage all of the muscles in my body to be super tight. This is called full body tension. So I started doing drills that taught me how to squeeze and engage my entire body to be nice and tight. I think of it like spaghetti. Even though I got comfortable kicking up, getting my feet off the floor pretty high, almost up to the top, I was kind of like a cooked noodle. I was like a cooked piece of spaghetti. As soon as I got up, I would just flop on down because I had no core tension, my body wasn't tight at all, and so I could never hold the handstand. And it was only when I started practicing certain drills and learning how to engage my full body when I kicked up into the handstand, when I started really embracing my uncooked spaghetti vibe, was when I started seeing that I could actually hold the handstand at the top. Nice, hard spaghetti that will not flop over. That's what you need to embrace in your handstand. And there are 2 main things that I did in order to develop this full body tension. First thing, of course, is going to be handstand drills help so much, help tremendously. One of the drills that really helped me that I did over and over again is wall endurance handstand holds. So I got comfortable holding my body upside down. I would walk up against the wall, face towards the wall, not away from the wall. And I would practice just holding myself in the handstand, using the wall as an assist. So I didn't have to worry about balancing or anything like that, but I could just hold myself there. And what I focused on, instead of just holding myself there, is squeezing and bracing my core and squeezing my legs. So personally, for me, that looks like pointing my toes. You can pick or choose pointing toes or flexing your toes. It doesn't matter as long as you stick with one and you're consistent and your entire body, all of the muscles are engaged. Leg muscles are tight, your quads are engaged, your hammies are engaged, your core is tight. No sagging core, and that means no arching back over here. That means a nice neutral spine, shoulders overhead, the entire body is fully engaged. So doing handstand drills with the wall really helped me, and the other thing that really helped me was working on specific core drills. And we're not talking core like abdominal crunches or hanging leg lifts or anything like that that's gonna work your rectus abdominis. We're talking core exercises that teach you how to engage your core to not move. We're not moving here. We want that full body tension. My favorite drill for this is going to be the hollow hold. I did these over and over and over again. I added these into my workouts a few times a week, probably about 3 times a week. I would do a few sets of hollow body holds and then eventually moving on to the reverse hollow body hold as well. So for the hollow body hold, you're going to lay on your back, extend your arms overhead, extend your legs straight forward, and you're going to focus on keeping your lower back touching the floor. This means instead of arching your lower back, thinking about tucking your upper hip bones down towards your lower ribs. So you're gonna keep like a little bit of a crunch in your upper abs, and you're gonna engage your core so that your chest lifts up off the floor, shoulder blades are off the floor, and your lower back is on the floor. So you're forming like a little dish. I used to call this exercise dish because it's like a dish. And this hollow body hold is what you really wanna stick once you enter your handstand. So when you practice kicking up, getting your feet together, and then forming that hollow body hold where your entire body has that full body tension and you're very engaged. So the handstand is a full body exercise. It's not just about the shoulders. Okay, and my third tip for getting to your first handstand, this one. Okay. In order to get to your handstand, you need to follow consistent handstand workouts. What I mean is not just trying to kick up into your handstand after your workouts or once every 2 weeks doing a whole handstand workout. It's about doing a little bit consistently throughout the week. And what this looks like is committing to doing 10 to 20 or more minutes of handstand training a few times a week, every week for months. It's kind of like if you wanted to grow a muscle in the gym. You would have to make a workout and then go to it consistently in order to build the muscle. You wouldn't just do it once every week or every other week or kind of whenever you feel like it, or maybe at the end of the workout and just like hope you grow muscle. You would create a plan and you would really stick to it and focus on that muscle growth. Same thing with handstands. You need to have that consistency in order for your body to, one, get comfortable, get familiar going upside down, inverting. Your central nervous system needs to adapt to holding itself upside down. And the more that you can expose your body to going upside down and inverting, the more comfortable you will be in holding a handstand and the easier it will become to get into a handstand. And developing and holding the handstand is also going to be about developing the right muscles. You need to have the correct muscles, shoulders, traps, back, core, full body tension. You need to develop the correct muscles in order to hold yourself in the handstand. And the way that you build up those muscles is through consistent handstand training. And for so long, I would just kind of kick into a handstand and like hope I would see progress. And I didn't really see progress for a while because I didn't stick to a consistent handstand workouts. It's only when I consistently trained a few times a week, definitely adding in rest days. Personally for me, I did 3 times a week or so in the beginning. And I'd recommend that you do at least 3 or so handstand workouts. Maybe that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday, 2 workouts, rest, workout. It doesn't really matter as long as you're being very consistent in your handstand training and having a few times a week where you're actively practicing on training and getting your handstand. So those are 3 tips that I would give my beginner self trying to get her handstand. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you want another handstand video, I could make a part 2. I have so many handstand tips, or if there's a specific topic that you want covered, let me know in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.